Hello, everybody. It is Blind Metal Gamer along with the wonderful and vivacious Kaira Super Saiyan. What is up, Kaira?
Oh, just trying to stay warm, blind, which brings us to today's topic cold winter memories.
Yes, it is time for another episode of the Blindside Podcast. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about winter adventures. Not just memories, we're going on adventures, by God. And Kaira, you want to tell them what else is back for this start of the new version of the podcast as far as what's going to be brought back?
Well, we are doing Valentine's Day once again next month. And on our other end, we just did a new episode of Bacon More Fun.
Yes, we did, and what I was referring to is Anything Goes is back.
Oh, yes, we are going to be cussing, screaming, the whole works.
Yep, but we have the rule.
No, which is no metal, much to blind dismay.
And keep it SFW, work appropriate.
Yes, keep it SFW. But see, Blind and I have been tested the last couple recording sessions. He had
Mm-hmm.
technical difficulties last time, and I had technical difficulties this time. But not to worry, ladies and gents, that is off the podcast, behind the scenes.
Yep, and okay, so we're talking about winter memories, winter adventures. Kyra, would you like to start, or do you want me to give the listeners my first blind winter adventure?
Well, my first winter adventure, well, it's not my first, but it's the most vivid,
Mm-hmm.
is going down the biggest sled in our hometown and
Nice.
sledding until me and my sister and cousins couldn't do it anymore. And then my grandfather would take us to McDonald's for hot cocoa. He had no ulterior motive. We get the hot cocoa. He gets to drink coffee with his buddies until it's time to leave. He was a legendary coffee drinker. So, you know, this was not about us grandkids. It was about my grandfather. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. He was a good grandfather.
Hey, he had to get his in now.
Oh,
You
yes.
all got yours, but he had to get his. You know it. You just
Yep.
know it.
I mean, he was a founding member of the McDonald's Coffee Club in our hometown, so there you go.
Nice. All right, so I have a winter adventure that I want to share. I too, as a wee blind metal gamer, remember going and sledding. I believe on the same hill that you described,
Most likely, kids
and
from Gen Alpha slide on that hill.
right, it might be the same one.
I
So
think so.
anyway, I remember this blue disc sled. It was in the shape of a disc, and I would lay on it or sit on it, and who was with me would push me down the hill, and I would go down. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I remember,
I had one of those disc sleds too. Mine was Lion King.
nice. Then let's see, another winter adventure. I do want to throw a KSB winter adventure in there, and I got the perfect one. Okay, it was, you remember, Kyra, the big snow of 1994, right?
I was in diapers in 1994. How the hell am I supposed to remember that one?
Okay, I'm gonna kick it off with this one. For those of you who were old enough to remember this, it was this big, big snow. We got like 2 feet of snow, and
Yeah,
I
my mother
remember.
tried to drive home in that snow and said she should have stayed with my grandparents another week.
hmm So anyway, I was, I didn't have to go to school because of that snow, and I was very lucky because I heard that a lot of the people that were you know affected by that also had to stay home from school. So um, that was my first KSB snow memory. But the reason why I remember it so well is because I remember we had just gotten done with Christmas break. Okay,
Right.
and it was, everybody was returning back. Everything was going back to normal after the big snow. But why didn't Blind Metal Gamer back? Well, by the time they got things ready to go in our hometown, there would have been no point of me making the trip up to the school, turning right around, coming back home, turning right around, going right back. So my mother made up this little white lie that I had gotten sick, and they believed it.
Yep.
So I got to stay home a few extra days. But oh my God, when I got back, I caught the wrath of the dorm parent I had at the time.
I remember when in my ill-fated stint in trade school, we had a massive snowstorm. And I went home, I believe, for Easter. This was in March, and Kentucky is unpredictable with the weather. We can get
Mm-hmm.
snow all the way through April around here.
Mm-hmm.
And and so and then I got sick. So not only did I have to miss two doctor's appointments because of the snow, one because I was sick, the other for a more personal reason. But
Mm-hmm.
I also missed a whole week of trade school because I couldn't get back to trade school because A, I was sick, B, it wasn't safe to go that part of the state. And- oh, another early memory I've got. There are pictures of me with a snowball in my face, and then another one with me bundled up way too much sitting with my dad on a homemade sled.
Nice.
Can you talk about the best thing to slide down that big hill on? We had this thing called a toboggan.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long flat
Mm-hmm.
um s- sled.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of it having rails, it had a slick bottom and handles on it.
Oh, I bet that son of a bitch went fast.
It did. Unfortunately, though, I landed in a creek at the bottom of the hill,
Oh
and
God.
and I got sore from crashing at the bottom of the hill. And I'm like, yeah, this thing is cool to sled on. Maybe not for me.
Uh, yeah, I might have been. I would be using words that
Well,
would.
I was 14 and my grandfather had passed, and so my dad took me, and I would have gotten my ass whooped by my daddy if I'd cussed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And actually, I didn't cuss at that age. I didn't start cussing until I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Same here.
Another good snow memory I have. My first winter in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born in the same town as Blind was. I was born in a different part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we we decided to make a snowman
Mm-hmm.
on the patio, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't just make a snowman. We made a snow cat, and we used Daddy's bottle cap collection to make the face.
Oh, nice.
It was a pitiful looking snow cat, but we tried.
Hey, gotta try
I
sometime.
was 5 years old, and that was so much fun.
Oh
Oh, I
yes.
miss loving the snow. I hate the snow and the cold now.
Hey, I got a memory from that blizzard of '98. I remember that very well too. Again, this is another KSB memory. For those of you who don't know, KSB stands for Kentucky School for the Blind. I was a student
Yes.
there, so a lot of my memories are going to be from that. So, okay. Um, it was early '98, and Kyra, you described the blizzard, and your boy Blind Metal Gamer was stuck there. I didn't get to go home that weekend. I was fucking pissed. I did not want to stay there. I wanted to be at home in front of my TV, playing my video games, doing what I would do at the time. Now, little did I know it was, but I had to, deal with what I had
Uh huh.
because it was too dangerous. There was no way. There
Yeah.
was no way. So I just had to make do. After that sank in, and I, kind of finally realized I'm gonna be here this weekend. I better just make the most of it. I discovered it was one of the funnest times as a teenager because I got to stay on campus. I got to go out and actually have one of the best snowball fights you ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And we didn't really like hit each other with snowballs. We just made weird, extravagant snowballs and threw them. There was a
Oh, that.
statue we call the shoe because it looks like a shoe. And for those who wonder what it's like, the bottom of it is marble,
Uh huh.
and the top is granite, and is marble, and the top is granite. The bottom is gray, and the top is white, and it looks like a big shoe. So we affectionately
Okay.
would call it the shoe. So we
Yeah.
would make snowballs and throw them at that sucker, and oh man, it was
And
fun.
And that brings me to another fun childhood memory. In 2000 or 2001, I don't remember what year, SpongeBob was in full swing, and they
Mhm.
aired a very popular episode where an iceberg caused Bikini Bottom to get snow for the first time. And SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward get into an outrageous snowball fight. At first, Squidward doesn't want to be part of it, but then SpongeBob and Patrick keep trying to get him to join in on the fun, and it ends with Squidward having a snowball fight with a tree because he doesn't know he built a snow fort under a tree. And just seeing the absurdness of sea creatures enjoying the snow is just remarkable. And it is a must watch when it's cold and yucky out.
Nice. Okay, I have another winter memory. Again, this isn't a snow memory, but this is. Do you remember, Kyra, the big ice storm of 1999?
No, I remember the big ice storm of 2010.
I'm referring. This was 11 years prior. So
No, no,
okay, I was a kid.
no.
I
I
was at
remember I remember more playing in the snow in that point in my life rather than the actual storms.
well, here's why I was asking, because I have a vivid memory I want to share. I want to share another KSB story with you guys
Okay.
um, about this. So it was January of 1999. We were at school in the dorm, and me and my roommate at the time were in bed listening to the radio, trying to see if KSB would be off that day. When they said the Kentucky School for the Blind is off, we jumped for joy because we didn't have to go to school that day. Nice, awesome, right? So we get to sleep in a little bit. We got up, went to the food service building for breakfast.
Mhm.
Um, we discovered the whole entire campus was encased in ice.
Yeah.
Everything, the sidewalks, the bushes, the grass, the buildings, and we all wanted to go look around, right?
And they said no.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us because it was so dangerous, but it was just such a sight to behold. I
Yeah.
mean, just the thought of everything encased in solid ice, and I
Yeah.
thought this was going to be another situation where your boy Blind was going to have to be stuck at home for another, or stuck at the campus for another weekend. But when they said, "Well, Blind Metal Gamer, please report to designated area for transportation home," me and the other the other boys from my hometown,
Uh-huh.
we all jumped for joy. I said, "Let's get over there and go," and we hauled ass over there and got our lecture or got our luggage and got in that car and we headed our asses back home.
I remember during the ice storm of 2010
Mm-hmm.
getting to go to my other grandfather's house
Mm-hmm.
um for the weekend, and I remember being mesmerized by the ice all over the trees. But the bad news is my grandfather lived in the middle of nowhere,
Oh
so
God.
it was freaking cold, and the roads were dangerous. But I also remember um my that the following year we had a rare white Christmas. We didn't get those very often.
I
We
remember
didn't
that
get
too.
We didn't get another one until 2022 when it got freaking cold outside.
Oh, I remember that.
You thought it was 2020 the last time we discussed it. It was 22. I
I
remember because my dog laid in the snow and she was born in 21.
mhm. Oh yeah, I was 22. I guess maybe we got a light dusting of snow in 20 on like Christmas Eve, but like yeah, 2022 was the big one. But yeah, I remember the ice storm of 2010. I also remember I think it was early 2011. We had no, it was 2009. The big ice storm we had back then. Remember?
Yeah, wait, can you repeat that? I am so sorry. Your girl got distracted by an external force.
The big ice storm of 2009.
That may have been the year I was thinking of. No,
Yeah, I
wait,
think
no,
it
what?
was. I think it
Well,
was because I remember it very, very well. We had just had Christmas, and
yeah. I
there
just
was one in
remember
2009, and there was another one in 2010.
it, I'm thinking the one in 2010 then, because my grandmother was sick and in a
Hmm.
nursing home, and my dad was taking me to visit my grandparents on his custody weekend so that I could get the chance to get to know my grandparents before they were gone.
Right. Now, the 2009 ice storm, I have two memories I want to share from
Okay.
each one. So 2009, I remember it very vividly. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad."
Yeah.
Yeah, it got bad. It definitely lived up to its name. I mean, I remember having to just that particular storm, staying in, staying warm, and I remember I was working at the time.
Yeah.
It was right before I started work, so I didn't work at the time, but I had to just kick back and stay warm and stay safe. And I was checking in on everybody, all my friends and family, and all this. Then in 2010, I remember, my boss was like, "Hey, it's bad out." You know, me and a friend of mine were on the PSN, back on the PS3, and
Yeah.
they were telling me since there's probably not going to be any bus, let's just prepare to stay home and kick back. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So I remember that next day I woke up, sure enough, no bus, and I had to call the people that I was working for at the time and my boss, on-site boss, and they said just take a day, kick back, stay warm, stay safe. All right. So I'm doing my thing, right? And
Right.
unbeknownst to me, I got a surprise package. You want to know what it was?
What's that?
Darksiders
Hey,
for PS3, baby.
that's pretty awesome. Speaking of which,
So I went, popped that puppy in, and I just lost myself.
yeah, now I can talk. Sorry. Speaking of which, that reminds me. Uh, oh gosh, what year was this? It was like 2017, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's got to be it. I got I got a notification from UPS that there was a package coming to my door. And I'm like, what the heck? I didn't order anything, which is unusual for me because I keep track of all my orders. And so I checked the tracking and it was coming from the same town where a relative lived. I'm like, do you really think it could be from them? And my mother's like, don't be ridiculous. But I opened it up and it was a big box.
Hmm.
Not only was it from that relative, it was a
Hmm.
wonderful purple plush blanket.
Oh, I bet that thing kept you good and warm that night.
Yep, it was.
Now,
I used it on my bed for years.
nice. All right, so I have another memory. Of the 2022 big snow we got. A little recent one. I remember distinctly, being told, yeah, it's gonna get bad, it's gonna get bad. And sure enough, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we woke up to that white Christmas,
Yep.
and it was cold as all hell, and I was like, yeah, white Christmas.
That was the year the dog laid down in the snow because she freaking hates the cold.
And That was the last snow that I could see.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was a yeah,
But we didn't know
that
that
was
was going to happen, so we kind of didn't.
heck no we didn't. What happened to you the following year was a tragedy. But we're not going to get into that. But
No,
no,
no, no, no, no. We're going to save that for later, baby. Now,
yeah, that'll be another episode if we do decide to discuss it. But no, I remember that Christmas because my family was in visiting, which doesn't happen very often. My grandmother decided to come across town and visit for several days so that she wouldn't have to hurt herself getting out. Um it was so chaotic. The dog laid in the snow as if to say, "Y'all have fun with your snow. I'm staying right here until I get to go inside." And, you know, that's just how my family is. We hate the cold. We hate the snow. We're warm blooded. I mean, you know what? I take my dog outside in this current cold, snowy weather. My dog puts on a coat.
that's what I was going to ask you about next. Do you have any current memories of the 2025 winter snow that we just experienced?
What I can say is it's been interfering with my personal life and my social life. I have had events with friends canceled. Um, canceled. My dog has to wear a coat when she goes out. I have missed my volunteer activities at the animal shelter, and I love going to see the dogs. And I'm lucky I haven't fallen and hurt myself like I did in 2023. I like
Oh
my
yeah, that oh god.
my family is like, why don't you just do it this way? I'm like, because I don't want to hurt myself again.
Nice. Okay, so as far as me and memories of the 2025 winter storm that we just experienced, I would say having to go out and traverse it. Um, I got a belated Christmas gift. It was a new pair of snow boots,
I've got a good pair of snow boots
and
too.
I'm
I
telling you,
bought them
man,
on sale.
I'm telling you, that them things are so cool. I mean, you put them suckers on, you won't even know it's cold outside.
Yeah,
You won't
my
even know
snow
it.
boots are not that good, but my snow boots have excellent traction. I have only
Mm-hmm.
fallen once wearing this pair of snow boots, and that was because there was a slick fucking patch of ice by the damn car. Damn,
Oh yeah.
sorry. I'm a little agitated. There's a lot going on in society that we won't discuss
Yeah, we're
today.
not going to talk about that now because it will invoke the Berserker Rage.
Yeah, I know I'm usually the calm one between the two of us, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm incredibly hostile these days, so
Uh,
forgive me.
yeah. Thank you, Ice, for making Kyra slip and fall. So, okay, you think we maybe have covered everything as far as winter adventures and winter memories?
Um, I can't really think of. Oh, I got one more thing.
Okay.
So, after Christmas in 2015, I believe it was, whenever
Mm-hmm.
the Star Wars revival came out,
Mm-hmm.
we decided to get the dog, not the dog I have now, the previous dog, a winter coat
Mm-hmm.
because it was starting to get freaking cold and the dog was going to the groomer more. And we find the cutest little coat on sale at the pet store. And what does it have on it? Darth Vader. So what do I call the dog when she wears it? Dark Vader.
Nice.
You're supposed to laugh at that, dumbass.
Fooled ya. Okay, so I think we've covered everything as far as winter adventures and winter memories. Because I'm all tapped out. I can't think of any other winter memories or winter
I
adventures.
can't either. This has been a delight, though.
I know. All right. So before we wrap up, do you want to let everyone know what is coming in February? What they can expect?
As I said earlier, Valentine's Day is upon us. We are going to discuss everything we love about Valentine's Day, hate about Valentine's Day, and how we celebrate it. Because, boy, howdy, at least for me, Valentine's Day is a love hate relationship.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, Kyra, do you got anything you want to say before we wrap up?
What I'm going to say is, it is super friggin' cold out. Hell appears to have frozen over. Stay warm, stay calm, and please, for the love of God, be kind to each other.
Yes. Okay. So my advice to you all would be stay warm, stay safe, be kind to one another, because we're not out of the woods yet. We still got the rest of winter to go. And other things are
Oh,
happening
oh Lord.
in the world.
Bipolar Mother Nature, y'all. Welcome to Kentucky.
Yep. And just so you know, guys, there's other things going on in the world right now we're not going to talk about. But just based on what's going on, stay calm, stay kind, and keep it real. With that being said, for Kaira Super Saiyan, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying so long, everyone, and peace out.
It's been Kair Super Saiyan, y'all. Stay golden.